In the late 1990s, one device defined the future of personal computing, a tiny revolution that promised to put the power of a desktop in your pocket. It was everywhere, a status symbol, a technological marvel. Yet, walk into any tech store today and ask about it, and you'll be met with blank stares. What happened to the Palm Pilot? And why, in a world obsessed with technological evolution, has this once ubiquitous gadget vanished from our collective memory, becoming little more than a whisper in the annals of tech history? To truly understand the mystery of the Palm Pilot's disappearance, we need to rewind to a time before smartphones, before pervasive Wi-Fi, even before the widespread adoption of the Internet in every home. It was 1996, and the world was just beginning to grasp the potential of portable computing. Laptops were clunky and expensive, and cell phones were primarily for making calls. Then, 3Com, a company known for networking equipment, launched a device that fundamentally changed the game. It wasn't just a PDA, a personal digital assistant. It was the PDA. The original Palm Pilot 1000 and 5000 were sleek monochrome marvels, small enough to fit in a shirt pocket, yet powerful enough to manage your schedule, contacts, memos, and even crude drawings. It ran on two AAA batteries, lasting weeks, not hours. Its secret weapon? Graffiti. This intuitive, single-stroke handwriting recognition system allowed users to input data quickly and efficiently, a skill that became a badge of honor among early adopters. Suddenly, executives, doctors, and tech enthusiasts alike were carrying these little rectangles, syncing them to their clunky desktop PCs with a satisfying thwack as they dropped into their cradles. It was more than a gadget. It was a promise of a more organized, more efficient future. Palm Computing, initially an independent venture that 3Com acquired, was heralded as a visionary. They understood user experience, they understood simplicity, and they delivered a product that genuinely enhanced productivity in a way no one else had. But simplicity, once its greatest strength, would eventually become its greatest weakness. But as quickly as Palm rose, the cracks began to show. The initial euphoria gave way to a slow, almost imperceptible erosion of its market dominance. One of the first missteps was ironically intertwined with its massive success. Palm's focus was relentlessly on personal information management, and that was it. While the user interface was clean and efficient, it was also, well, basic. Competitors, seeing Palm's triumph, started to emerge. Microsoft, ever the behemoth, launched Windows CE, a more robust operating system for PDAs, offering color screens and multimedia capabilities long before Palm embraced them. Devices like Compaq's iPad, running Windows CE, started to offer features Palm users could only dream of. Built-in MP3 playback, vibrant color displays, and eventually, Wi-Fi. Palm, clinging to its minimalist philosophy, was slow to react. They feared adding features would complicate the user experience and drain battery life. But in an evolving market, stagnation is death. They seemed to view their core competency as PIM, not as the broader mobile computing platform it could have been. Furthermore, Palm's organizational structure became a labyrinth. They spun off from 3Com, went public, then tried to acquire Handspring, a company founded by Palm's original creators that was making innovative Palm OS-based devices like the Treo. This corporate musical chairs led to confusing product lines and a fragmented vision. Instead of focusing on innovation, resources were often tied up in corporate restructuring and internal politics. The biggest threat, however, wasn't another PDA. It was the burgeoning cellular phone market. People wanted fewer devices, not more. And slowly but surely, cell phones started to incorporate basic PIM functions. Why carry a Palm Pilot and a phone when one device could do both, even if not as elegantly? Palm did eventually embrace the smartphone concept with the Trio line, which was a critical, albeit late, success. The Trio 600, launched in 2003, was a groundbreaking device, combining a full keyboard, color screen, and smartphone capabilities. It was a glimpse of what Palm could always have been, a true converged device. But even here, they were playing catch-up. The market was already being populated by strong competitors from Nokia and the nascent Blackberries. What they discovered next changed everything. Despite its early successes with the Treo, Palm was hemorrhaging market share. They were stuck between a rock and a hard place. Their traditional PDA market was shrinking, and the smartphone market was becoming fiercely competitive. Their once-beloved Palm OS, with its simple elegance, was starting to show its age. It wasn't built for the rich multimedia experience and advanced networking that consumers craved. The operating system was essentially 16-bit, and rewriting it for modern hardware and capabilities was a monumental task. They attempted to modernize with what would become webOS, an operating system that, ironically, was ahead of its time. Launched with the Palm Pre-phone in 2009, webOS introduced a revolutionary card-based multitasking interface, intuitive gestures, and seamless cloud integration. It was beautiful, fluid, and brilliantly designed. Many tech critics hailed it as a genuine competitor to iOS and Android. It was Palm's last, desperate gamble. They poured everything into this new ecosystem, hoping to recapture the market leadership they once held. The Pre, with its sleek, pebble-like design and unique inductive charging pad, generated considerable hype. For a brief moment, it felt like Palm was back, but a combination of factors conspired against them. The Pre launched with Sprint, a smaller carrier, limiting its reach. Early hardware suffered from quality control issues, and most critically, the iPhone, launched 2 years earlier, had already captured the public's imagination, creating a massive app ecosystem that Palm simply couldn't replicate overnight. Android was also rapidly gaining ground, bolstered by multiple hardware manufacturers. Palm was too late to a party where the main acts were already firmly established. They had a brilliant operating system but lacked the financial muscle, the developer support, and the sheer market momentum to push it through. The hype faded, sales dwindled, and the dream of a Palm resurgence withered. The final nail in the coffin arrived in 2010 when Palm was acquired by HP for $1.2 billion. HP tried to push webOS on tablets and printers, but their strategy was muddled and ultimately failed. Just over a year later, HP announced it was discontinuing all webOS hardware. The name Palm, once synonymous with innovation, became merely intellectual property, eventually sold off, its legacy scattered. To this day, we may never fully understand how such a dominant, groundbreaking company could fade so completely from our collective consciousness. Palm's story is a poignant reminder of the brutal, unforgiving nature of the tech industry. It wasn't a single flaw that brought them down, but a confluence of factors: slow adaptation, a reluctance to fully embrace new paradigms, corporate disarray, and intense competition from giants like Apple and Google, who executed their vision with relentless precision. The Palm Pilot, in its heyday, was a marvel, a true pioneer that laid much of the groundwork for the smartphones we now take for granted. Its contributions to mobile computing, particularly in user interface design and personal organization, are undeniable. Yet few remember its name. It's a ghost in the machine of tech history, a forgotten hero whose innovations were absorbed and improved upon by its successors. Perhaps the ultimate irony is that the very speed of technological progress, which Palm helped accelerate, is what ultimately erased its memory. If you want more stories about forgotten tech, and the mysteries behind their rise and fall, the next video explores the strange case of why the Zune never stood a chance.